Hello Nitro RC nerds here. In this video I'm going to show you how to swap out engines. Specifically what I'm going to do is take this stock Losi 82 350 plus this stock pipe and put this in my OFNA Hyper 7, and this will be just part one of the Hyper 7 rebuild. But first thing I'm going to do is make sure that it fits. Then once I have the engine out of here, I'm going to put in a badass Werks B5 engine plus a Dynamite 086 pipe. So let's get right to work. Before we get too far into this though, I'll just give you the least you need to know. That way if you're feeling pretty confident, you don't want to watch the whole video, you get just the items that you want. So to begin with, the clutch. The thing to remember is that the clutch stays with the car. So the clutch is associated with the car. So in this example, I took the clutch off of the Losi 350 and I'm going to use it with the B5 engine. Then I've got this OFNA clutch that I took off of this engine and I'm going to use it with the 350 that's going in the Hyper 7. Next are the pipes, the exhaust pipes. These are pretty much agnostic for the most part, and you can swap them in and out as you like. In this specific example that I'm doing, I'm going to keep this Losi pipe with the 350, and then this will just be hanging out with this MaxStar 28. So this is going to stay on, and then I'm putting a new pipe on the B5. So pipes are either air filter, once again, stays with the car. So what I'm going to do is take this air filter off, put it on the B5, take this air filter off, and put it on this 350. Next is engine mounts. So these things right here, and you can see right here. These stay with the car. So what I'm going to do is take these engine mounts right here off, put them on the B6, and then take these engine mounts off here and put it on the Losi 350. As a bonus for those who have stuck with the video thus far, here's some quick footage of Andrew and I riding wheelies on our Savage last night. Now what I'm going to do is put the carburetor onto the new engine. And here are the clutch shoes. I got them on. I went ahead for aluminum with gold springs. Andrew said he wanted some punch. He's going to get it. And I got the clutch bell shimmed. This was very interesting. I had to get pretty creative to shim this, which was fun. But it's all good now. Okay, so there's good news, bad news, good news. The good news is I got the engine mounted. You can see it's meshed fine. The bad news is this right here kind of concerns me. You can see the way the slide carb is just kind of barely touching the top plate. I'm also a little bit worried about how this air filter will fit, just to make sure it's not going to touch any of the linkages. The good news is that this carburetor here is adjustable. So I can turn this or turn the actual carb neck itself, whatever. This is typical when you put on a new engine like this, you're going to have to tweak some things just to get everything perfect. So the mock fitting looked good. Now we'll take it off and put on the pipe. One interesting thing about this pipe setup, as you can see, it comes with a long spring, which is typical. But the Werks springs, the springs for the engine, are these short ones that actually go from the manifold coupling here just to right here on both sides. And springs don't come with the engine, they actually come with the pipe. So had I ordered a Werks pipe, I would have had the springs. However, I hadn't even really thought about that. But just like in the Boy Scouts and the RC world, you always want to be prepared. So having backup spare parts, it's a good thing. So now we have the pipe sprung up, going on the engine. You can see here, I actually only had 3 springs, so it's fine. Just having an extra one is just more of a luxury. I believe I have another one laying around I can probably find. And then I've got the spring set on the manifold to the actual pipe itself. This pipe here is similar to the Losi in that the set screw goes in the front as opposed to the side. I like the side ones better. They're easier to get to because when you get this on, a lot of times you have to remove the stone guards or whatnot to actually get there using an Allen key. So anyways, let's go ahead and put this on and see how we're doing. Okay, so the next obstacle is this exhaust pin right here. You can see I'm unable to mesh the gears in the way because it's sticking out. Now of course I can push it in. What I don't like about that is if you look right here, when I push it in, you can see how it opens up a little bit, and just not going to have that. And while I can get this and move it in this direction. I'm not sure if that is going to fix it, and ideally what I would do is loosen it here and move it in. However, without going into a lot of detail, this is actually an Allen key that I put on a long time ago, and it's worked wonderfully, but if I have to take it out, it's okay, because as I mentioned earlier, always have as many backup extra parts as you can get. Alright, so I replaced it. You can see now it's a much better fit. Now to celebrate his new engine, I've done two things. First, you can see I put a King's Head aluminum steering plate, and more importantly, put on a new throttle servo. This is the ProTech 100SS, and it is pretty much 30 to 40% more torque and a little bit over twice as fast. And I got some Lucky 7 air filters. First, though, I'm going to start off with the pre-old one and just get rid of these. I'm not a big fan of the pre-old one, so I want to use them up real quickly. You can see that this new servo on the throttle, much faster. What I don't like, however, is let's say that I lose signal. Goodbye, car. And then so now you can see it's just a simple matter of rebinding it and setting your fail-safe. Alright, so I got the engine on, I got the link setup going. I actually did run into a pretty hairy snag. It took me a while to figure it out regarding the link setup. Here's what happened. After applying throttle, the carb would not go back to the closed position. And that was no big deal. 99.9% of the time when that happens, it really is just due to the adjustment of your throttle link or the carburetor. Essentially, just imagine if you're pulling something out, if you pull it at an angle, there's going to be pressure applied. So I moved this thing every which way, could not get it right. And without going through all the gory details of what happened, I sat and I started to analyze what are the variables that I've included in here. So in other words, what things have I changed? And then it hit me. And I checked and I was like, sure than shit, I guarantee you that's what it is. All right, so what it was the ball cup right here. There was no play on it. The reason there was no play is because I had recently changed it. And I had changed it with one for the Losi 810. Just looking at them side by side, they look the identical size. However, this on here, very tight. This, lots of nice play. And that's needed. And so here's your result. See? Smooth as silk. So I encourage everyone to add that to their knowledge base when they're going through their link setup. Just make sure you got play in your ball cup. You know, obviously you're going to have it unless you switch it out, but if you ever do switch ball cups, make sure you got the right size. And now, so at this point, we're going to just wait for you-know-who to come home.
Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
And we'll give it its first start. Time to fire it up. However, we're going to wait till another video to show you when we get this started, because we will be doing a video on how to break in an engine and how to tune an engine. Additionally, Andrew is across the street at his buddy's house. They're having a little party over there. He won't be home till either late or he may just spend the night, who knows. So definitely want to wait on him. I do apologize. I wanted to get a savage bashing video out today, but as you saw, it's been raining all weekend and it's supposed to continue to rain. So the other thing that I will be following up on is showing how to put a new engine inside of an OFNA Hyper 7 and essentially converting that to bump start. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. I hope you have a great day and I hope you learned some stuff. I know I did, and that's what this hobby's all about.